Hello and welcome back to the Villa Filler podcast. I'm here as always with my good friend Dan Wiseman. Dan, deadline day and Morgan Rogers is an Aston Villa player. Finally, bit of a saga this one.
We needed this. Bit of optimism, bit of uplift after a tricky result against Newcastle. I think we paid perhaps a little bit more than we initially bargained for, but it seemed really set on Morgan Rogers. It's not often we get kind of caught up in not like a bidding war, but we've been so swift, and executing transfers has been a relatively... Obviously, we kind of had the Diaby stuff going on in the summer, but obviously we were competing with Saudi Arabia at the time. But we've not really seen Villa get caught up in this, particularly not in the January window. We're normally kind of so steadfast in these are our terms. We're not going to get caught up any kind of back and forth. We're not going to let prices get driven up. But we must clearly be really interested in Morgan Rogers, and I'm really excited to see exactly what we're getting.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I think there's a tinge of sort of unknown quality there from a lot of Villa fans who may not have had a keen eye on him. You know, obviously we've not been in the Championship for a while, but people would have seen him up close in that FA Cup game. And I think this deal for me is quite interesting because, I mean, there's been sort of various reports, some saying it's 10 million and 5 million in add-ons, totaling 15. Some people are saying that it's 8 million up front and 7 million in add-ons. Whatever the structure of the deal is, he's signing on a 5-year contract. And I think that we're all parties involved in this are in a bit of a difficult situation, aren't they, mate? Because Middlesbrough have a sell-on fee. 20% of this deal is going to Manchester City, and they obviously only signed him fairly recently, so they're looking to sort of maximise as much money as they could get. And obviously, we're sort of looking at it through this sort of profit and sustainability lens that we sort of have to be a bit careful with. So when you sort of break it down and you sort of look at the Chelsea method of how they're doing it and that sort of amortization, 5-year contract, if we're talking 8 million upfront fee, we're talking or even for the 10 million fee, 5-year contract, that's 2 million a year. So I think that, you know, when you look at the finances as well and you look at, you know, the ceiling that this guy really has, the deal actually looks quite impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. I think that deal up until 2029 is kind of the headline of this deal. I think it's not an outrageous fee, especially when you consider what Crystal Palace are paying for someone like Adam Wharton from Blackburn. You know, gone are the days where, you know, you could go and get top talents from the Championship at kind of 5 million. You know, these guys, and rightly so, are really kind of knowing the worth of their players, and you have to admire that. But Rodgers has been our primary target for some time. You know, he's got a decent bank of experience behind him throughout the lower leagues. He's had loans at Lincoln City, at Bournemouth, at Blackpool before his kind of permanent move to Borough, as you say, from City last season, who stand to benefit from this deal. But we've known him, it seems, internally from his time at West Brom. That's where he came through. He was signed by City in the summer of 2019. So we know that he's kind of hails from Birmingham as well, so he's a local lad, which is nice. I think we need this, though, more than anything, mate. I think we need a fresh injection. I think it's a shame that Nedeljkovic won't be joining up until the summer, because it does kind of feel that we're a little bit tight in areas, we're a little bit thin, and so I think just some fresh injection, some youth, some excitement, a new presence in the team. It'd be interesting to see if we can get him off the bench at Sheffield United. I think that's really what this team needs. And we've not been privy to many January deals in recent years. We know it's a tough market to shop in. We know that Villa are, as you rightly say, a little bit kind of close to the profit and sustainability rules of the Premier League. But this deal seems a sensible one. And I just think, you know, when we're talking about Villa looking a little bit leggy, a little bit tired, that result against Newcastle is kind of what we hope is a turning point for our season. Some fresh legs, even if they aren't going to be huge needle movers, just someone that's keen, is going to come on, play with real intensity and real purpose, a bit of a point to prove. I just think it could be what this team needs.
Absolutely, mate. It's absolutely what it needs. Guys, let us know your thoughts on this deal in the comment section down below. And if you're new here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and up the Villa.